In this video, we will go over what triggers suspects, what they do when triggered, some neat stuff that I found out about the game, for example walls not stopping bullets. At the end of this video I hope to also answer whether suppressors are worth it, and how the game can be improved to allow more stealthy and less deadly gameplay. To begin with, we need to establish what even triggers the AI, and what it means to be triggered. I like to define it in 3 phases. There's the calm phase, where the weapon is lowered and suspects aren't paying much attention. The alerted phase, where suspects were triggered by a noise and have their weapons drawn and prepared for contact, and the hunting phase, where suspects know exactly where you are and are going to engage you. What triggers the AI is a tricky question. However, I can certainly say being shot at does not. On screen you can see me shooting at an AI from a distance through multiple walls, and the AI not reacting at all to being fired at. With this in mind, I started to dig at what it is that the AI looks for to go from calm to alerted. Bullets will only alert suspects if they are in what I call the spotting range, where the action of you shooting your gun triggers them, instead of the bullet itself hitting close to them. Smaller calibers seem to slightly decrease the spotting range, but I didn't test too deep into it, because I realized something that makes testing suppressors in smaller calibers completely irrelevant. Once an AI is detained or killed, an event is played that has a bigger trigger radius than anything else in this game. Yelling for compliance also has a larger spotting range than any gunshot in this game. This means that once you shoot your gun, there will be a specific area around you where people will hear that action. But once someone is detained or killed, there's a much bigger radius around you. It begs the question, if someone being eliminated alerts a large area, do AI actually communicate with each other? Well, no. I have tested this a lot, and you can see an example of an alerted suspect running past a calm suspect. And the guy just decides his fellow hijackers freaking out is none of his business. Now we know that bad guys being stopped alerts a huge area, but other bad guys freaking out, or even shot at, does not. What actually makes the AI get alerted is whether or not it is in the spotting range of a certain action, be it a door opening, you being in the cone of vision of the AI, or throwing a smoke grenade, for example. Each action has its own spotting range, but surprisingly, footsteps don't. I asked myself if the action of throwing the grenade or the grenade going off is what triggers the AI. It seems like it is the grenade going off that will make suspects alerted, instead of the action of you throwing it. This is interesting because it's exactly the opposite of the logic for bullets. With guns, what matters is where you shot it from, not where the bullet lands. Also, something interesting to note is that the AI can take around 40 seconds to 1 minute to go back from an alerted phase back to the calm phase, which means that waiting out after you breach the room could be a good choice. Something else I noticed is that the AI still wall hacks, but not the way it used to. A suspect that is triggered in the current version of the game will only get a ping of where the event it heard happened, instead of already knowing where you are through walls like in a past version of the game. This means actually doing distractions, such as blowing up another door besides the one you want to enter, throwing a grenade the opposite of where you're going, or shooting and moving to ambush is definitely something you can do. Be aware though, sometimes the AI won't get into the hunting phase and only barricade themselves inside the room they are already in. There's a significant difference in spotting distance between an alerted AI versus a calm AI. For one, the vision cone seems to be increased to essentially 360 degrees once an AI is alerted, making it more difficult to sneak up to them. There are obvious flaws to this system. But who is without flaw? You probably haven't liked and subscribed yet. Okay, anyway, back to the topic though. I believe that the 3 things that should be fixed at the moment is that yell for compliance is way too loud, opening doors is also way too loud, you should be able to surprise someone from time to time if they're not looking directly at that door, and if you catch someone off guard, that being behind their cone of vision, you should be able to have almost a guaranteed surrender. I highly doubt someone will just turn around with 5 armed SWAT members and start blasting, but hey, it can happen. I just wish it didn't happen every single time like it does right now. We went over how the AI gets alerted, but if you'd like to know a bit more about suspects and what they are wearing, you should definitely check the video on the screen.